Hey guys, D.Bowie here, and this is 8K Luna versus 4K Luna. Starting item build. I feel like Madara's starting item build is the best one and probably the most flexible one. It has stats, it has regen, you can finish magic one in the side shop if you're against a very aggressive lane. To me, there are better item builds sometimes, but you can't go too wrong with this one. At the same time, the 4K player tried to go for a similar build that I really dislike. Not a lot of regen, while at the same time going for one of the least cost-effective items early on. He paid 165 gold on that extra circlet. If he wanted more tankiness, regen was the way to go. If he wanted to go greedy and have more damage in the lane for 10 extra gold, he could have bought a ring of protection and then finished the Basilius in the side shop to get way more damage. In the end, he has that circlet, ends up buying a Sage's Mask without the ring of protection, wasting 300 gold for an item that increased his mana regen in 0.5 mana per second, so you can see how one little detail can have a huge influence in a game. Less hitting. At 11 minutes into the game, the 4K Luna had 57 less hits, which for a lot of people is a big number. A lot of 4K players sometimes don't understand why they are 4K. After all, they get a lot of less hits, yada yada yada. But let's take a look on Madara's less hits. At the 11-minute mark, Madara has 77. Yeah, it's bigger than a 4K player, but not that much, right? It's actually 35% more less hits. Why is Madara capable of getting more? The first important aspect to getting easy lane is blocking. The 4K Luna did okay. He was able to put the range creep in front, but it was way too late, so in the end he doesn't get the lane pushing towards his side. Madara doesn't get the best block either, but luckily, since X also made a mistake, the overall creep equilibrium is pretty good, even though his range creep is not being killed right away. Watch them less hit. Look at the range between Madara's Luna and the creeps, and then look at the 4K player. Since the 4K player is farther away, he ends up missing some less hits because of the attack animation as well as the projectile speed. So if you're having a free lane, it's a good idea to position yourself way closer to creeps to get more less hits. Lane harass. In both games, the lane support is a dazzle. Since they learn poison touch early, Luna has a pretty good window to harass the enemies. I like that the 4K Luna goes for it. This is a very common 4K bracket problem, focusing too much in less hitting and forgetting that harassing the offlaner is almost as important as getting perfect CS. I feel like the biggest difference I can spot between them is how much CS they are losing when they go for this place. Look how much time the 4K Luna wastes going after Timbersaw, while Madara always goes for the harass when the creep waves meet. This allows him enough time to deal reasonable amounts of damage without losing too much CS. Lane control. This topic will be a little bit problematic since I can hear from miles away carry players telling me that their supports don't tell them when they're going to pull. And that's true, I camp from the trench just like you, so I know. So while I'm going to praise the fact that Madara pushes the lanes lightly when he knows the Dazzle wants to pull, this will not be considered in the score. But this is definitely not the only lane control prowess we can see in this game. For instance, let's make a side-by-side comparison in the creep equilibrium from both players. See how crispy his lane control is? This dissuades X from getting experience completely. Yeah, the 4K Luna got kills and it's often natural that the lane pushes lightly when you do that, but it's not hard to push the lane and then pull the large camp to reset it. We can see Madara doing it here, and the kills that the 4K Luna got didn't really make up for his last hit mistakes. At the 10-minute mark, if we compare their net worth, the 4K Luna has 21% less gold. Itemization. A lot of people still go threads first on Luna when they have a free lane. What you need to understand about Helm of the Dominator in Luna is there's no item at this stage of the game that synergizes better with farming and pushing. And with the exception of a lucky ult, this is all Luna wants to do until the 15-minute mark. In this game, Madara finishes his Helm of the Dominator very early, and as he watches the bottom lane fall, look at the difference the dominating one melee creep makes. Since he dominates one of the melee creeps while a catapult was hitting the tower, he's able to buy enough time for the next creep wave, and this will definitely guarantee the tier 1 tower. That play alone forces 2 enemy rotations to that tower as well as a glyph. It doesn't matter if Madara had threads here, tanking those tower hits was not an option. He also uses a dominated Harpy in this clip to get tons of kills with his team on top of a bare last hit. Let's look at the 4K Luna. He's close to taking the tower, he lands a pretty good Eclipse getting the kill since the creep wave was still coming, but he's forced to tank tower hits, and even with the Dazzle heal, he ends up taking massive amounts of damage. Not only that, the Glyph and Ogre TP allows Radiant a deny, and even knowing that he had no ult, was low on HP, he stands there hating creeps. Part of it is him being 4K and innocent, but another part of it is his itemization. If he had Helm of the Dominator, even if he didn't dominate a lane creep to take the tower, he could be farming the jungle non-stop right now, he wouldn't be taking damage from creeps, and would heal a fair amount thanks to the Helm of the Dominator. The end result is that a Shrine TP combined with his recklessness ends up in him being dead. Farm patterns after tier 1 is down. The 4K player farm is completely over the place. First, he's forced to go way deep in the top lane to get normal S hits since he took the tier 1 and can't farm the jungle so well since he doesn't have Helm of the Dominator. On top of that, when he TPs in to help his team with ult, which to be honest was fairly successful, he has nowhere to farm and can't push either. He goes to the Dire Ancients part of the map and I thought he was going to farm and stack that to keep farming later, but he knows he will lose a lot of HP. So he ends up walking all his jungle and that TP accomplished pretty much nothing. A better way to deal with this would be fishing a salve and a TP from the courier while he farms those creeps, and then TP back to his tier 1 when the wave is there. He lost a lot of time overall and has a lot to improve in his farming patterns. Look how efficient Madara is. He farms that large camp and I thought okay, let's wait the next spawn, but he actually tries to stack both camps at once with that dominated creep. Even though he fails, he still stacked one large camp and keeps farming. He ends up dying, and even that he uses the dominated creep to kill that pesky centaur. When he comes back, they go for the bottom tier 1, and I really like that he dominates the move speed creep, since he's about to get level 2 ult and the cooldown is also ready. In case he ults, he can definitely keep up chasing the targets and dealing more damage. It also guarantees that he can go from camp to farm even faster. We can see good farming decisions here as well. Look how he farms this area, waits the respawn, farms the jungle in a way to have a smooth transition from camp to wave to camp and repeat. If you're walking a lot and not farming, you're probably doing something wrong, or you have an alchemist in your team. Well, this wraps up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please guys give it a thumbs up. If you want to see the extended version of this video, please check the link in the description. Pugna is a platform where you can learn from people like Chessie, Fog, Monib and get better at the game. They have great content on the new patch, and if you want to raise your MMR, this is a great time. Just figure out the patch faster than others and get those easy wins.